कौन कहता है रोशनी चांद देता है, सितारे नहीं। मैंने टांक लिया है सितारों को अपनी छतरी में, मेरी राहों में अब अंधेरे नहीं।
दोस्तों, मेरा नाम है डॉक्टर श्रीश गौतम और मेरी पहचान मेरा पंतनगर का आईडी नंबर 26904। और दोस्तों, मैं लेकर आया हूं आपके लिए स्टार्स ऑफ पंतनगर।
इंडोइन बिजनेस ग्रुप प्रेजेंट्स स्टार्स ऑफ पंतनगर। इंडोइन बिजनेस ग्रुप, an agricultural company, adding value, building trust. To know more about our title sponsor, please visit www.indoingroup.com.
हमारे आज के गेस्ट का आईडी नंबर 18825 है और आपने कॉलेज ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी से 1994 में एग्रीकल्चरल इंजीनियरिंग में बीटेक किया है। आप बीटेक में हाईएस्ट जीपीए प्राप्त कर वाइस चांसलर गोल्ड मेडल होल्डर रहे हैं। तत्पश्चात आपने कनाडा से पीजी और पीएचडी प्राप्त की और उसके बाद वाइस प्रेसिडेंट, डायरेक्टर क्वालिटी, प्रेसिडेंट, एडजंक्ट प्रोफेसर जैसे पदों पर आसीन रहे। कुछ चुनिंदा कंपनीज जिनमें आपने न केवल पंतनगर वरन भारत का परचम लहराया है, वो हैं यूनिलीवर, माउंट ऑलिव, व्लासिक, पिनाकल फूड्स, मेट्रो, लोब्लोज, बबीज। कुछ और नामी इंस्टीट्यूट जहां आपने कार्य किया, जैसे यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ मैनिटोबा, यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ इलिनॉय, यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ गुएल्फ, ESL ग्लोबल। इसके साथ ही साथ आपने द नेशनल सेंटर फॉर फूड सेफ्टी एंड टेक्नोलॉजी ऑफ US FDA में भी कार्य किया है। His key accomplishment is patented invention of zero oxytec processing system. You have also written a book named Advances in Thermal and Non-Thermal Food Preservation and is credited with more than 50 publications and presentations in national and international conferences. He holds an IQ of 180. IQ के साथ आपका EQ भी हाई है। सामाजिक क्षेत्र में आप काफी सक्रिय हैं और भारत में लड़कियों के अधिकारों तथा जानवरों के प्रति बढ़ती हिंसा के प्रति सक्रिय योगदान निभा रहे हैं। हाल ही में केरल में हाथियों पर हुए अत्याचार के खिलाफ आपने स्टेट गवर्नमेंट को पार्टी बनाते हुए केस भी किया है। पंतनगर 4A द्वारा आयोजित 60th फाउंडेशन डे पर आपको आउटस्टैंडिंग एलुमिनस अवार्ड से नवाजा गया है। सो फ्रेंड्स, टुडे आई गिव यू डॉक्टर गौरव तिवारी, प्रेसिडेंट एंड CEO ऑफ तिवारी डीऑक्स सिस्टम्स। पंतनगर कहने में एक शब्द हो सकता है, पर अपने आप में एक संसार है। हाउ पंतनगर हैपेंड इन योर लाइफ, डॉक्टर गौरव?
Coming from Faizabad, we were not exposed to IITs or big engineering colleges and whatnot. But through my elder brother, I came to know about IIT, and I decided that I will compete for that. The idea was to get in IIT and then to compete for IAS. That was one goal. Somehow, one way or the other, I could not get into IIT. I got into MNR, which is Government Engineering Colleges competition. At that time, we will have IIT Roorkee and MNR. Even in MNR, I didn't score very good position. And I had only few seats available when I went to my counseling. And then I had to choose between regional engineering colleges outside UP or some institutes which are in UP. And I knew about Pantnagar University, and I knew it was an international university and carried a big name. So I checked marked for Pantnagar University, and the only branch that was available there was agricultural engineering, and I chose that. I came back after my counseling. It was in HBTI Kanpur. I came back to Faizabad and I told my mom that somehow I could not make to to other branches which were considered very prominent, but this is what I ended up doing. She was very proud. She said, "No, that's fine. Whatever you will do, you excel." And she also knew that although I want to be a IAS officer, but she knew I was very honest. And I had very high aspirations. So from the get-go, she told me that no matter what you do in your life, at the end of the day or at the end of your career or sometime in your career, you should have your own company. And if you have that, then you would be extremely not only financially okay, but also you will change the direction of your generations, because your dad is a professor. We had whatever earning we had, it was all hand to mouth, and we were okay, but it was not extremely glamorous. So my mom always instilled in me that even if you become a civil servant, you always should be thinking about having your own company and own organization. That was something in me, but the circumstances didn't look like it. I was the last position holder in 1990 batch of technology in Pantnagar. The session was late because of some strike in the university. So we joined, 1990 batch joined in February of March of 1991. I joined Pantnagar. The registrar, the dean of technology at that time was Professor BPN Singh. And I ended up meeting with him during my counseling at HBTI Kanpur, and I also touched his feet and got his blessing. And so when I joined Pantnagar, I sought an appointment with him, and I saw him in his office in the Dean College of Technology. And I went and asked him that, "Sir, although I am here, but I want to compete for IIT. And because to fill out the IIT form, you have to get the dean's permission." So he told me, "Gaurav, you are a good student and you are very sincere. And I feel that although you may or may not get into IIT for one reason or the other, but I will tell you this, if you top Pantnagar University in your batch, you would be well sought after and you would be able to do whatever you desire to do." And that were his words to me, and I still remember those words, Professor BPN Singh. Afterwards, I came to know he himself was a graduate of University of Massachusetts in US, and a very prominent person, very thorough gentleman. So again, I wrote IIT. I could not succeed in my second attempt. So I decided, let me concentrate on my studies in Pantnagar and let me try to excel.
सहारनपुर में जन्मे डॉक्टर गौरव का वेस्ट जाना क्या आसान रहा? या अपने साथ चुनौतियों को साथ लाया?
I did well. I was able to do well in my first year, and then carried on with my grades. Very, very good memories of Pantnagar, which I will tell in a second. And then at that time, I also focused on that I should secure a scholarship abroad in US or Canada, and then it would add on to my career. I had no interest to pursue MTech from IIT. IIT in my eyes was only for my bachelor's. So I wanted to just compete for scholarships and go to attend universities in US or Canada. Again, financial was a big thing for us. So to apply to any school in US or Canada was like very expensive. Probably to write GRE was almost my dad's 1 month salary or more. But I wrote TOEFL, I wrote GRE right in my second year, just start of third year, I will say. And I would go and ask anybody and everybody who I know has even been in a plane that which university I should apply. I had no clue whatsoever. Somehow I came to know about few universities, and then I would go to Delhi and I would read in British Library, I would read the Pearson Guide to find out universities, and I was trying to find out universities where there is no application fee, so I could apply, and so there is no monetary burden on my parents. And I started to come first in my batch or in my branch, and I was getting a small little scholarship, at Pantnagar, merit scholarship from the year one. Then I started to apply. I got addresses of quite a few universities, and if I recall, I almost wrote to 100 plus professors in US or Canada. I will give them my biodata. I will wrote in a international inland. There will be like a blue inland that used to be very common at that time. We didn't have email or anything, and so we will write. I would write in that particular inland, which we called Antarrashtriya, Antardeshi, Antarrashtriya envelope or something, and that's what I used to write. I will write to many people, probably 100 more. Nobody replied. There's only one professor who replied. His name was Dr. Radhilal Kushwaha from University of Saskatchewan, Canada. And he told me to get in touch with Dr. T.P. Ojha, who was the director at Indian Council of Agricultural Research, Director General of Agriculture Engineering Division in Indian Council of Agricultural Research. He gave me his address. And he also asked me to apply to a couple of universities in Canada and also definitely in US. And he was the one who told me, since you are agriculture engineering branch, you should be focusing on food process, chemical engineering background, because that's like a growing field, and you should, when you try for a scholarship, try to look in those fields. So Dr. Kushwaha was among 100 plus letters that I wrote, and I was so happy when I got his letter. I think it came to my home address, and very happy that I got a letter from a foreign land, and probably kept it for many, many years. Anyway, so I applied to 3 universities in US, University of Minnesota, South Dakota, and Louisiana State, and 2 in Canada, University of Manitoba and University of Saskatchewan. I got a scholarship in all of the universities. US, I could not get a scholarship right from the first semester, full scholarship. I got partial, and to get your I-20, you have to prove for other funds and whatnot, which I could not do. So I opted for University of Manitoba, and I got full scholarship there, which covered my tuition and my living and everything. So we were very happy, and it happened right at the end of my 3rd year or start of 4th year. So I already knew that I would be going abroad and for my studies. And even when I joined Pantnagar, when people will ask, hey, what do you want to do? I would tell them, hey, I'm going to US for my studies. And I was very, 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 very open and very vocal about it. And also was made fun of our, fellow batchmates, because here is a kid who has never wore a jeans in his life. And he's saying he would go abroad, and he's from a small town, UP boy in eastern UP, Faizabad, what the heck he knows. So, it was, but anyway, it was a challenging and fun experience. It never bothered me.
कुछ यादें ताज़ा की जाएं आपके बैच और बैचमेट्स की. Mike is all yours, sir.
So my Pantnagar buddies were Ashok Agrawal of my branch, Neeraj Sati, who is electrical. He was topper of electrical branch, and he ended up being a secretary. Currently, he's a secretary with the Uttarakhand Electricity Board. Another friend, Samir Raj, who is in Australia, who pursued his MBA after his bachelor's, and he's in Australia. He lives in Australia. Ashok Agrawal, who is a prominent coaching person for IIT, another engineering exam in NCR. He lives in India. Other friends, different branches, that's the beauty of Pantnagar. I would say that although we were in different branches and, we will make fun of each other. You are in civil, you are Tasala, you are in agriculture engineering, Korpa or Khamba and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, there was a very, very special bond that, means we will have our own little groups, we would, because depending on which branch you are, which area you come from, it's very natural that you will mingle with people from your area and whatnot. But I was very much cross-functional in many ways. I always had friendship with other branches people, and that's still, when I think of it, it's very cherishing or nourishing in many ways. I enjoyed that actually. Somehow I was very ambitious, very high aspirations, and people who would come close to me, they would realize that right away. And a lot of them, they will make fun. The other people will encourage. And there were few who would blindly believe. So in my blindly believe category was A.V. Shivkumar Iyer, who is a very prominent electrical engineer and then MBA from a very good institute in India. And he is in California these days, and that's where he lives, married with his children and everybody. And so he literally would believe in me that, Gaurav, you're extremely smart and you would definitely go. And man, I'm telling you, you would, whatever you will do, you set eyes on, you'll get it. So anyway, it was very, very, very brilliant experience. We memories like any Pantnagarian would have in Choti Market, Badi Market, and all our trips to Haldwani and Nainital and Lal Kuan and all that stuff. Very, very interesting experience. Means those are, needless to say, those are golden memories that you cherish all your life, and also you tell these to your children, to your grandchildren and whatnot.
सर, आप एक सफल एंटरप्रेन्योर रहे हैं और न केवल आपने अपना वरुण पंतनगर का लोहा एक बार पुनः संपूर्ण विश्व को मनवाया है. सर, प्लीज शेयर सम ऑफ योर इनिशियल एंटरप्रेन्योर एनेक्डोट्स.
I was very keen on excelling in what I do. So I got a lot of private research money from industries during my work at Guelph, and did projects for companies such as Sara Lee Foods and whatnot. And at that time, my aspiration for owning my own company became very strong, because my thought was that using my brain, all these companies are making, building a plant or building manufacturing lines or launching product using my brain. So I think it's high time that I should have my own company. It was just a thought. And as I mentioned before, that my mom instilled that in me, that I should have my own company. So that thought was there. I didn't know there was no money, how to start it, whatever. So around July of 2000, I got a call from a group in Texas, that they heard about me, they heard about my work on high pressure technology and during National Food Safety Research Center work in Chicago. That was my first jobs, and they wanted me to come to move to Texas to build a plant using ultra high pressure technology to process guacamole, which is like avocado puree. Avocado puree, if you open avocado, if you peel avocado, it turns brown like apple. So it has that enzymatic reaction, and high pressure is the only technology which could delay that browning. So I knew the equipment part. I knew how to set up the whole thing. So our son was born in 97. Our daughter was born in 2000, December. So right around, it took quite a bit of visits to Texas, which I would do during weekend, and I was able to secure a $10 million investment for the project. And around July of 2001, we moved to San Antonio, Texas, and that is the launch of my first company, where I owned 33%, and it was designed to build the ultra high pressure process.
Will you like to share some words to current students and juniors, some insights which may help them in their life journey?
The message to my juniors from Pantnagar is that do whatever your heart wants you to do. I know we all have brain. I know we are all pretty bright folks, but at the end of the day, it is something that your heart tells you that you should always focus on, and always be gentle and always be proud of your background.
In your words, what is that one differentiation found in Pantnagar products which set them apart from the world?
One thing that I would like to mention that differentiates probably, and I know everybody's alma mater they are proud of, but I think what differentiates from Pantnagar is our dil. Pantnagar University has a heart, and definitely mind is there. That's why the university exists. But the connection that Pantnagar folks have is beyond. And I know you cannot be, friends with everybody, but you have your good part of your life that you devote towards your friendship that you developed through your college days. And I think Pantnagar stands above at international level when it comes to that. Pantnagar batchmates have heart. They tend to feel each other. Pantnagar University is a university where definitely it has international values or international standards, but it also has it also carries a heart, and which is really the key. And my example, as I mentioned, that during my college days, Professor B.P.N. Singh recommended me to different universities where I applied. Another professor, Dr. D.K. Gupta, who was from Clemson University, master's and PhD, and he was a professor there, he also recommended me. The other professor, Professor G.N. Gupta, he was also very keen and helped me a lot and encouraged me thoroughly. And the batchmates we have, I'm telling you, man, that's beyond this. It is the most prominent culture I have ever encountered in my whole life that we have in Pantnagar. I was extremely fortunate that I could bring my 22-year-old son who graduated from New York in biomedical engineering last year in September 2019, to our Silver Jubilee celebration at Pantnagar. And it was a lifetime memory for him. And he was so happy to meet with my batchmates and see we were all in our late 40s, but we were we were behaving like 18-year-old kids, and no competition, no comparison, everybody encouraging everybody, everybody happy for everybody happy for everybody's children and their achievement. Now, whatever way I can, I'm also guiding some of my batchmates from Pantnagar, their children, and getting scholarships or career guidance in many ways, So Pantnagar University is a great university. great faculty, and above all, it carries a heart. That's the key. And I'm a very emotional person. I value my decisions are based on my heart, and that's how it is. I operate with my heart. And if my heart doesn't want to do anything, I may lose money, millions, but I won't do it.
Dr. Gaurav takes interest in paying back to society and alma mater. So, sir, this one is to know in what ways you are supporting the university.
Last year, I'm connected more and more with Pantnagar. I started, I guess it's being approved by Pantnagar Technology Alumni Association scholarship in my mom's name, Srimati Mithilesh Tiwari Memorial Award, for which 1 lakh rupees will be given to first 3 toppers of agriculture engineering branch, 50,000 to first topper, and 30 and 20 to the second and third one respectively. That's one connection I have. I also have meeting with Dr. Tej Pratap, VC of current VC of Pantnagar, who has also encouraged to start some research projects with technology college in Pantnagar. So I will be visiting Pantnagar in early first quarter of 2021 and to see what else can be done. So I mean, there's too much connection, and with Pantnagar, which is splendid because I never worked in India. I never had a formal job in India. And even though I have connections there, which speaks a lot, we also have a Pantnagar group in Toronto area, which is also very vibrant.
So during recent months, Pantnagar University has come up with the incubation facilities. What will be your take and advice to the university in that domain?
When it comes to having a word with the university admin regarding incubation facilities, I would request that Pantnagar should have a center of excellence where academia, industry, and government come together and work towards commercialization of technologies and new processes which can benefit Indian farmers, Indian entrepreneurs who are interested to have a export-oriented unit or having a unit to supply product to domestic or national markets or regional market for that matter. It is a very common problem with any academia or any academic institute is that they create plethora of engineers, plethora of scientists, plethora of graduates every year. And then the only focus these graduates have is to secure a job or to go abroad and get a position and, and just get on with their life. There should be a concerted effort by the admin. So where these incubation facilities are enticing these individuals who are already settled in their life. There is no award you can give them. There is no incentive you can provide to them that can pull them back to contribute back to the university. It's a tradition. It takes a long, long time to have such tradition built, which is also lacked in Western universities. However, I personally feel that Pantnagar, being such a global university with having so many colleges, so many brilliant brains that have come out of this, I think if Pantnagar admin can work on creating a center of excellence where they have a pool of network of brains which can benefit local government and local entrepreneur and local industry. For instance, you see this problem of farmers that's happening in India these days. The problem is that the farmers have to sell their crop because they don't have facility to store. If that would be the case, then Canada, in Manitoba, Canada, which is considered the prairie region, they should starve to death because they have snow all over. There are brains in Canada. There are brains in other part of the world where which can contribute to build a huge cold storage facility, control atmosphere storage of these grains, for that matter. Just an example. So what I'm trying to say is that in order to create a system, there has to be a thought. We cannot just ask for graduates to give few lakhs of rupees and do a research or whatever. That is easy. That is very, very easy. But I may warn you that it will not be a sustaining process or sustaining system that will sustain. It will be dependent on individual liking towards or individuals' thought about giving back to university and whatnot. That's different. That is done all over the world. But in order to have a university, a mega university or a mega brain center such as Pantnagar, this type of center of excellence where academia, government and industry come together, where Pantnagar graduates who are in different parts of the world, who are in India or elsewhere and who have accomplished much in their career, in their field, what Pantnagar can reap on is use their brain. The country which utilizes their resources and which utilizes their intellectual property and maximizes it and commercializes it, that's the country develops. And I think Pantnagar can have a big role in this. So, in a nutshell, Pantnagar University admin should work on creating a center of excellence or use its current center of excellence and bring all these three pillars together: academia, industry, and government, and promote them.
As we all know, that you have been involved in campaigns against animal cruelty. What are you planning with India and Center of your generous animal welfare projects?
Regarding my plan for towards animal cruelty in India is very clear. My goal is to create awareness among us. It is a very sad thought that a country which worships stones will be cruel towards living beings. And again, I would say this with all audacity, that this is all because of poor planning, because of inherent greed of people at high places in India, whether it's government, whether it's forest officials, whether it's police, whether it's farmer, greed. No proper planning, not at all. This requires, again, when we think about sustainable environment, whenever we think about building a high-rise, we think about proper planning. We think long-term. We don't think about quick gains. Because if you are going to capture land of animals where they have resided and do not locate them to a preserve where there is a proper execution of policies against cruelty, even 10 years from now or 20 years from now, we will see man and animal conflict in India. Because poor planning, greed at all levels is there. As far as my minuscule effort is concerned, I intend to change the legal framework in Kerala government for cruelty towards animals. We have filed a petition against the Union of India and against several forest department and state government and whatnot. So a proper legal framework is formed to execute the acts which are already there, to provide punishment to those who create this type of cruelty. Not going in detail why wild boar are killed or why elephants are killed and whatnot. It is because of our greed, or poor planning, nexus between government officials, politicians, police, poaching, and wildlife mafia. That's what it is. Nobody want to call elephant in the room. That's basically what it is. We are all very good in having a mask on our face. Let's take that mask off. If there could be one honest Indian forest officer, IFS, in India which challenges these, it's all can be put to bed. But nobody would do that. We all want to become senior civil servants for our own good, to have our generation set for crores of rupees, so nobody has to work. What is this? And then we talk about framing policies, and media is about talking about elephant cruelty and showing pictures and WhatsApp messages, all the emotions and candle march. That's wrong. As far as I'm concerned, I can only guarantee for myself that I will continue to fight. I'm ready to file a petition to stop the coming of law against monkeys in Uttarakhand. I have heard news that Uttarakhand government is also keen on bringing policies for killing of monkeys, like in Himachal Pradesh. I did not know this. I just came to know. So I am looking into the legal perspective from that side, because until and unless legal framework is done, until and unless there is mindset from the top officers, from top government officials to preserve these animals, we will always see human-animal conflict in India, because by default, we as humans are corrupt. And we always think of others last, or don't even think of them. Forget about animals. So this mindset needs to change.
We thank our title sponsor, Endoin Business Group, for making this podcast possible.
दोस्तों, आप डॉक्टर गौरव तिवारी और उनकी कंपनी तिवारी डीऑक्स सिस्टम तथा उसके कार्यों के बारे में जान सकते हैं tivarisystemglobal.com पर लॉगिन करके। हमें आपके कमेंट्स और मैसेजेस का इंतजार रहेगा। आशा में कि आपको हमारे एपिसोड पसंद आ रहे हैं। मिलते हैं अगले वीक इसी समय इसी दिन एक नए सितारे के साथ, एक नई पर्सनैलिटी के साथ, एक नए स्टार के साथ, स्टार्स ऑफ पंतनगर में। टिल देन कीप शाइनिंग।